Hi, everyone. This is Key. Right there is Nick Libert. He's one of our brokers in the Chicago area. They have multiple offices. And we know right now things are tough. Let's just not kid ourselves. The truth is the truth. Things are rough in the country, but we have to keep going. So, Nick, what's happening in Chicago?
Well, first of all, we're seeing some deals stick together. I think there's two different questions in there. It's, are your current deals that you wrote prior to March 15th, are they closing? And the answer is the vast majority of those are. There are some people that have lost their jobs, sadly. They've been furloughed, et cetera, particularly in the last 2 weeks as the unemployment numbers we know are staggering. But everybody that's kept their job, for the most part, has kept their deal together. And the interesting thing is properties are doing two things. They're appraising out based on the comps from January and February. We had our best February on record in our office. We actually had our best March on record at our office, despite being essentially sheltered in place the last 2 weeks. I don't know how we did it, but what I do know is the agents were very actively involved in their database. So properties were still appraising out as of the end of the month, and people were still wanting to close. Some of the people were wanting to close because they were saying, Nick, I'm not even sure if I'm going to have a job in a month, but I know I'm going to need a roof over my head. And this was a good deal for me at the time. So I want to go ahead and go through with it. So that's question number one is, were your existing deals closing? And the answer, the vast majority of those are. The second and bigger question is, what about future business? And that is the business that I'm seeing drop about 40 to 60%. And I'm hearing that number nationwide, 40 to 60%, because people are very nervous about their jobs and because they weren't in a rush. So the people that are in a rush because they've got a timeline, their property's under contract, their lease is up, or they have a lot of cash and they were buying something purely for cash flow because they know rents have never gone down, even when property values do. Those people are still buying. But the people that are backing off are the people that weren't in a rush, were very nervous about their jobs already. And quite frankly, some of the people that felt the market was a little overheated, they're going, wait a second, there may be some bargains if I wait. So those people we're seeing back out, which means you've got a significant loss in income. But there's some silver linings to that too, because we're also starting to see a couple of bargain hunters kind of peek their head out of the walls that have completely sat out the last 6 to 12 months because this market got hot. I don't want to say overheated, but it got very warm. And so there's some people kind of peeking their head out of the window going, hey, is this maybe actually a good time to buy once I can physically show property? So that's the other big thing out there in the current market is, what can I actually show and what can I, both my own listings and everybody else's. So every state seems to be handling this differently. Luckily in Illinois, we are an essential services realtors, but we're not allowed to do open houses, nor should we. That's a health issue. And the other thing is that, most tenants don't want their property shown. Most owners that have kids or elderly people with them, they're not comfortable with it. So the real winning streak here right now is vacant houses. Vacant houses, a couple of mine are actually seeing an upturn in activity. Airbnb properties, I'm calling owners of Airbnb properties saying, hey, I know this is a really hard hit right now. Do you want to turn this into a 12-month lease? Do you want to list it on the market for sale? It's vacant and easy to show when you've got probably a lockbox or smart codes up, smart locks. So those are people that I'm actually seeing some traction with to get some new activity. So there's a small, in all the suffering and chaos out there right now, there is, I wouldn't even say, that's something great happening, a silver lining, but there is opportunity to make up some of the lost revenue. So there is opportunity out there. You just got to find it.
You just have to adapt to it.
You got to adapt to it. I remember I always tell people I have the worst timing ever. I walked out of my big box brand, big brand company, was in the top 3. Now it's not. Walked out of there and started my own independent brokerage in 2001, September 4th of 2001. So 7 days before 9/11. Then I opened my first EXIT franchise, October 29th of 2009. I think that was either the day before or the day after the stock market completely crashed. So I've seen this before, and it's not that I have a crystal ball and know what's going to happen, but I do know there's certain activities you have to do, and you cannot put your head in the sand as an agent. You just absolutely can't put your head in the sand. There's 3 main things I would be doing if I was an agent.
Yeah, before we go there, I want to share with you some statistics, and you share with me how they relate to yours. We're seeing, for those people who track the internet, we're seeing a surge in consumers looking at real estate online. I'm not saying buying, looking. There's a lot more people using this time, this sheltering in place, to look at real estate. Do you think that's a signal for pent-up demand down the road?
Well, let's be real here. People are sitting at home looking at all the internet sites. So, that I want people to understand two things, that there is absolutely going to be a pent-up demand, but that the ratio of that pent-up demand is going to depend on how long we're sitting in our homes. How long are other people not able to work? Are they going to be temporarily furloughed, or does this end up being a complete loss of a job? So we've got to get better health-wise and flatten that curve so we can get back out there and show houses and people can go back out to work. So that's going to be the biggest thing, is if this drags out past, the end of May, I think that pent-up demand is going to slow. But absolutely right now, a lot of my clients are going, hey, Nick, I was really enjoying looking at properties. When can we back out there? I'm like, well, I'll wear a mask because I'm allowed to in Illinois, and go out there and show you some vacant properties. And in the meantime, I'm sending them my app and really, keeping engaged. And so you're right, Key. There are some people sitting back going, okay, I don't like the box that I'm in because I've now been in it sitting here 2 or 3 weeks with my family crammed in here. I'd like a home office. I'm hearing those conversations. So that pent-up demand could be and should be huge, because you first of all had the people that were excited about buying and that now are kind of halted in the process for one reason or another. And then there's the people that are going to go, okay, you know what? This wasn't that bad of a hit for me. So now that I'm back at work, I want a new place because I sat in here and realized I don't really like this place. But, and I always like to be a realist, not a pessimist, not an optimist. I can find a silver lining in anything, but it's also like, if this drags out through the summer, there won't be the big burst of activity. There's going to be a burst because everybody's going to be itching to get out and go back and to resume the normal. But, we've just got to get healthy first.
Okay, well then, so we know there are things you and I cannot change. We cannot fix them. There's nothing we can do about them. They are what they are. The government is doing what the government is doing. The health services people, God bless them, they're doing what they need to do to help us stay healthy. Now, we have our agents. We have our exit family. We have our families. What do we do as agents? What are you guys doing? Because I'm hearing good things. Share with us 2 or 3 things that agents, you're nurturing them through this process.
So, and I want to go back to your first question real quick to really say that because there's so many unknowns, to sit there and play statistics, well, I don't know what the unemployment's going to be next week. I don't know when we're going to get out of here. I think it's going to be a great roaring back of the economy, because the economy was in an incredible position prior to this. But to sit there, and I think some agents are banking on that, and so they're sitting at home going, I got a couple weeks at home, I'll paint the walls, that kind of stuff. And then other agents are going, oh my God, the sky is falling, my business is dead. Both of those are wrong. So I'm not making market predictions. I'm telling you what you have to do, 3 things to survive, because at some point we're going to get out of here. I had all kinds of home improvement projects. I've done most of them now, not the expensive ones, but I'm ready to go show some houses and make some money. And so here are the 3 things, if you want me to go into what I'm telling our agents. And we have a 30 days to greatness program that I've worked out. And the biggest things, though, I hit on right at the beginning, and these are the things that I just am harping on daily. First one is a time block calendar. And I have a copy of Time Block Calendar on my teamlibert.com coaching page. It's free for everybody. There's a bunch of free agent resources on there. And a time block calendar now more than ever is key, because what's going to happen to you while you're working at home, you've maybe got the kids there, maybe elderly parents to take care of, or you have no one, and so you're just sitting there by yourself. No matter what your situation, even if you work from home before, this is a temporary normal that is extremely risky to not have a time block calendar. This is the best time to sit back and go, what could my life look like? What could my life look like if I took back control of my time? Because I got to tell you, I was waking up every morning at 5:30, but there were certain things that I wasn't doing in my business, and there are certain things I wasn't enjoying in my business that I've now built back in with my calendar, where I'm going, I'm kind of liking what could be out there, because I finally had time to sit down and think. So a time block calendar, it's a new discipline and a new focus for you, but it's also the opportunity to recreate your life.
I love it.
And so that was my first big thing. Get it stick with it, print it out, have it all over your walls, give it to your spouse or an accountability partner, do some check-ins. This is the time to not try to do everything alone. You've either got a lot of people around you that can be your accountability partners, or do a Zoom meeting, or, Facebook Messenger. I don't care what it is, to check in with people. So that's the first big thing. The second thing that goes hand in hand with that is your business plan. My business plan, and by the way, that was just an Excel spreadsheet, that time block calendar. My business plan is simply an outline. I don't like the business plans that go, well, I've got to sell 250 houses at $250,000 a piece to make blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I don't know where my next phone call is going to come from. It could be one year I did a $41,000 deal and a $2.1 million deal weeks apart, and everything else in between the whole year. My database is wide and it's deep in terms of demographics. I don't know who's going to be my next client. So I would rather focus on a prospecting plan. So my business plan is really a prospecting plan, 5 to 7 specific key objectives. And I got YouTube videos on my YouTube channel all over about this because I'm so passionate about it. So if you had a business plan that didn't look like that, that was just the economic model, I call it, that had just numbers, now we've got to go back to the mechanics of how are you going to make your phone ring? And again, what a good time, while we have the time, to be going back to that. And if you've never built one before, watch my video and build one. So the business plan, a lot of us did a business plan for 2020 that we need to go back and look at, because A, is it still realistic? B, do you have to add to it, knowing that we are going to lose, months of time? Because those of us that are sitting there, I'm posting, I closed a deal yesterday, I got a deal going tomorrow. That was activity that I did in February. Clients I was taking on in January that are closing. What am I going to be doing in May and June? I've got to pick up the phone and call people and build relationships now, which brings me to my last slide, because I don't have slides. This is just my iPad. I'm sitting here on my iPad every day, and I don't care what technology you use, and I am going back in my database. A lot of us use Promo Shop. I don't care what CRM product you use your phone. I'm sitting there on my phone and my iPad going, who in my database do I talk to? And this relates directly back to my time block calendar. I don't have it just, hour by hour. I have it every day. I have a theme. And if we've got time key, can I go into those themes for you real quick?
Yes.
So on Monday, I talk to my VIPs. Those are the people that I'm closest to. Friends, family, referral army, the people that give me business or should be giving me business that are close to me in my life. I always say these are the people I'd invite to a birthday party. And so those people, they get a call or a text from me, depending on who they are, on Monday. Sometimes they get a video, something funny. They get something personal. And normal times, before this new normal, or temporary normal as I call it, it was a really easy call to make because we all did things on the weekends. Now you got to get a little bit more creative and say, well, what did you not do this week? What did you do to stay active this weekend? Or, hey, I've got an idea for you. Go out there and be a resource for them. But your VIP calls are fun. That's Monday. Tuesday is your status calls, existing clients. So you got to think of this is that when you're lead generating for 2 hours a day, which is what I recommend in this time block calendar, I call it my green time. It's right up at the top. I got my exercise time, my green time. I know you and I both love the book, The Miracle Morning.
Yes.
That group is amazing. If you're not in the EXIT Facebook group for The Miracle Morning, I just adore that book. It's been a life changer for me. I used to sleep until noon, Keith. I thought I was a night owl. No, I was a broke owl. So what that teaches you is to get up and do your prospecting, but you're prospecting for new business. You're not talking to existing clients, with the exception of your Tuesday. So your Tuesday is status calls. But right now, you may not have as many status calls. You've got to say, okay, who should be, who's out there that I talked to that said they wanted to buy, that I was looking at property with, that I can start setting appointments saying, hey, I know this is a crazy time. Maybe in your state, you can't even show houses right now, but I would like to go ahead and schedule a Zoom call with you or a May 15th meeting. If your shelter in place is up May 1st, say, hey, let's go out and look at prices. Let's tentatively set a date. Let's be optimists. Let's look at the end of the tunnel. I see some light, and start scheduling those. So at the very minimum, you and them have to have a conversation to reschedule or cancel. So that's Tuesdays. Wednesdays is hot leads and cold leads, because we're still getting leads in. Key, you hit the nail on the head saying, activity is actually up. I've sent out my app to more people in the last 2 weeks. Now I'm talking to more people because I'm sitting on my derriere at home, but I'm talking to people. I'm not really, sitting doing nothing. I'm sitting talking to people on my iPad and having conversations and updating my database. And a lot of people go, well, when this is all over, I want to, okay, you want to win this over? Here's the app now. And I'm adding them to my database and I'm grouping them differently in my database. I'm sitting there going, okay, is this person also on my LinkedIn? They should be. Are they on my Instagram or Facebook? They should be. What's their birthday? Well, it's probably on their Facebook or their LinkedIn. And I got nothing but time to sit there and update this database. And PromoShop's a great tool for that. It's the easiest one because it's right in your CRM toolkit, or your big toolkit at EXIT, but whatever product you use. And even just, if right now you can't figure out a CRM, just put it in your phone. It'll sync up to most of the CRMs later, including PromoShop. Anyway, so that is Wednesday. Hot leads, cold leads. Go back and talk to everybody that you ever sent a search to before, everybody that you ever did a CMA to before. Hey, I'm just checking in, not about real estate. I'm just checking in to see how you're doing in all this. Because everybody is suddenly magically able to pick up the phone. Key, I don't like the phone. I like to text. I was like, good, Key's calling me. Picked up on the first ring. Hey, what's up? Starved for human attention. I don't care what your personality type is. Even the introverts are becoming extroverts right now.
Absolutely.
So pick up the phone. Do the video. I hated FaceTime. I had to have the right lighting. You and I sat here 10 minutes getting the lighting right, and I still don't like it for today. But people suddenly will FaceTime you. So this is again, I don't want to use the word silver lining because of all the people that are sick and suffering out there and losing their jobs. But there's got to be an opportunity to grow and to think about what you want your business to be like. And your database is going to really show you, do I have enough people in it? Do I need to meet more people? As soon as I can meet more people, do I want to meet more people online? Do I need to reconnect with people in my life from before? And what a lot of us are going to find is if you look at your hot leads and then go look back and look at your cold leads, a lot of your cold leads, you just didn't convert. And it's time to re-engage with them. So that's your Wednesday. Your Thursday is past clients. So for those of you that are new, we're probably not going to have a lot of excitement on Thursday. I'd be calling expireds because things are expiring out there.
Yep.
I would be calling FSBOs because FSBOs are scared. I would be calling Airbnbs. Go look at the Airbnbs. Find the owner in the property tax records. Go to usphonebook.com. Try to get their cell phone number, their email address. Do what I call a multi-channel campaign. I got a video on YouTube about it where you kind of hit them from every angle. And over time, you don't have to do it all at once because, again, you have time the next couple of weeks to create a relationship with new people. But so Thursday for me is past clients. A lot of us at EXIT, we've been here a while. We've been in the business a while. We got past clients and we don't talk to them enough. I'm not even a third of the way through my past client list. But I have something to tell you. One of my past clients, I texted her. I said, how are you holding up? And she goes, not good. Oh my gosh, I'm just going stir crazy. My husband's, I'm about to murder him. And I'm like, that's been more common than the I love my husband more than ever comments. And, but she turns around and she sends me a referral. Another person, a good friend of mine, past client, kind of enjoying her time at home, I think. She sends me a referral of somebody. She says, I don't know if they're going to buy right now because of all of this. Well, the one turned out actually to be a seller. And that seller, they said, you know what? I'm not sure, Nick, when I want to sell, but I'm an Airbnb right now. And I said, well, have you checked to see what your revenue is? She goes, I haven't looked at anything. I'm too afraid. The place hadn't been rented in a month. And I said, well, where are you right now? She goes, Italy. Italy of all places. So I'm like, well, how are you feeling? She goes, we've been really quarantined, locked up. And she goes, I think maybe I just want to get rid of the place. So I just went out and did a market analysis. So my past clients on Thursdays they're such a warm call because you know them. Even if you have been out of touch or haven't touched them at all since they closed, this is the time to get back in touch. A lot of people are rebuilding relationships with relatives, with, old long lost friends right now because we're all kind of in this odd mindset, this reflective moment. And so Thursdays are a great time for past clients. And again, if you don't have past clients yet, FSBOs, expired, Airbnbs, you can't door knock in a lot of places right now, but you can do Nextdoor, that app Nextdoor, Nextdoor. That is really taking off in small towns as much as it is in the big cities. And that's a way to kind of meet your neighbors too, right while we're sitting here online. Friday, last day. Because Saturday and Sundays, if you're able to, you're showing houses. Maybe you want more time with the family. Maybe you want to escape the family. I don't know. Friday is the last day I time block specifically for prospecting. And that is the day that I call it business builders, aspirational people, channel accounts. So what a channel account is, that's somebody that might not send you one deal at a time. That's somebody that has a big database of their own because they're also in business. So attorneys, trust officers at the banks, they don't have very much going on right now. There's everybody, insurance companies. So insurance brokers, your neighborhood insurance agent is probably having an interesting time. Every business is having an interesting time. Sit on LinkedIn, figure out who's in your neighborhood. If you can walk around, walk past these, even if they're vacant, not vacant, but they're closed storefronts, get the information, start to build some online relationships, check in and say, hey, when this is all over, I'd like to take you out for coffee. Set that time now. Do a Zoom meeting now. Any of that. This is the opportunity right now. I think bottom line, I've talked a lot. This is the opportunity right now to build your future business. So whether we come out of the gate roaring May 1st, or whether we kind of come out of the gate limping a little bit June or July 1st, you've set the groundwork. If you don't do this stuff now, and I mean today, start today, you're going to be behind everybody else. And there are a lot of agents out there that are panicked, but I'm hearing conversations about, what about the stimulus package? How much do I get? Should I file for unemployment? That's a temporary fix. If your business already wasn't making a lot of money, consider this an opportunity to start building the business you always wanted to have or should have had and just didn't make the time. And if your business was doing good, this is an opportunity to save that business and potentially grow on it, because those of us that were busy never took the proper time to go back and revamp and reconnect. So that's
what I like about what you shared is that you took a week and you gave yourself prospecting activities with one mindset. So stay in that lane, prepare your script, prepare your mindset, prepare your list, and stay on that for 2 hours. Do that, and then on Tuesday you pick another one, and you feel like you're making progress. You feel like you're now controlling your destiny. You're not a victim to what's happening. You're saying, I'm part of the solution. Am I right?
Absolutely. And if you wake up with a purpose, and you realize that real estate, the fundamentals of real estate, now more than ever, people need a roof over their head. They're appreciating it more than ever. I've always said in real estate, we're not selling used cars here. We're not selling things that automatically depreciate and break down. The property values on average rise. You're buying down the mortgage. So you're sitting there really over time creating a legacy that most people, that's the most expensive, but also the most important investment. It's the biggest asset they're going to leave their children or family.
Correct.
So I feel like there's good things going on in the business even right now. But if you don't realize that, if you don't have your purpose, so maybe even redo your vision board. That's a bonus. Number 4, what's your vision? And my vision for my business, I want to empower lives through real estate. I feel it's such an important, vital part of the economy. And for our agents, I just say, read the Miracle Morning, get up early, exercise before anybody can distract you, prospect before anybody can distract you, and then you've got the rest of the day to kind of figure out what else in your world, like painting the walls, you can do. But don't lose the value in this time. Don't lose the value in this time to really think about what's important, what you want your business to look like, what you want your database to look like. And because you are always in control of your time, even now in this world of chaos more than ever, time is your most valuable asset.
Well, I got to tell you, Nick, this is so valuable. I know a lot of people right now, I'm thinking about, like, I can't wait for them to get this video, because you are speaking the language of what I call an entrepreneur. Run your business like a business. Come on, let's go. Join me. Let's not quit. Let's make this happen. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wish you guys in Chicago and all of our exit friends and all of our realtor friends and all our businesses well. Stay well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.